This is your Adventist News, a service of the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. I'm Adriel Hepburn. Coming up in the news, Bethany Church celebrates 20 years, retired nurse ministers to at-home members, and President of Uganda encourages Adventist group to help eradicate poverty. These stories and more on this week's Adventist News. You're watching Adventist News. Thanks for joining us. I'm Adriel Hepburn, and each week we bring you news from throughout our territory. And every week we've been asking for your stories. Now some of you have begun to send in your stories, but for the rest of you who haven't as yet, please let us know what's happening at your church. Send us that information by email to the address sbcadventistnews@gmail.com or call us at 242-341-4021. On the weekend of April 21st to the 22nd, the Bethany Adventist Church located on Northwest Ridge on Katy Aubrey Lane celebrated its 20th anniversary under the theme, Unless the Lord Builds This House. The celebration began on Friday evening with a Vesper service in the form of a concert. The members sung hymns, read scripture, and shared musical testimonies. The church was led down memory lane as their journey from their Wolf Road location to the present West Ridge site was highlighted by Elder Pedro Roll. Pastor Paul Scavella, President of the Adventist Church in the South Bahamas, brought greetings during the Sabbath school hours, encouraging the members on the milestone and admonishing them to remain faithful to God. Pastor Kenny DeVoe, church pastor, in his message to the congregation used the text Psalms 127, verses 1 through 5, to bring out 3 points: sovereignty of God, the responsibility of the believer, and the assurance we have in Jesus Christ. At the end of the celebration, the persons in attendance left rejoicing, and the members are looking forward to another 20 years. After about 30 years of nursing, Claudia Gibson is now retired, but she still finds time for ministry to the at-home members of the church. Laverne Stirrup has more on this story.
As a member of the Berea Seventh-day Adventist Church, Claudia Gibson has put into practice the characteristics of a Christian life in being her brother's keeper. She was first introduced to Ricardo Knowles 7 years ago on the job as a nurse in the Ministry of Health, where she had the responsibility for self-lifestyle management for diabetics. Currently, in retirement, Gibson has developed a ministry of her own to the at-home members of the church. She makes weekly visits to these persons, providing health instruction, prayer, and Bible studies. So why is it that after years of being retired, she still gives care to this patient? Nurse Gibson told us.
My passion, I just love administering to those persons who are at that point of not being able to carry out the normal routine, and sometimes they are like, shut-ins, and they're locked away from society, and they need the encouragement, and visiting and encouraging helps them a whole lot, and it keeps them going.
Knowles, who was a heavy truck operator, was diagnosed some years ago with diabetes. He developed nerve complications after one day stepping on a nail, which left him unable to walk. Even though he has been confined to his bed for a number of years, he finds hope through the visits and biblical instruction of Nurse Gibson and the others who accompany her. And due to dietary changes implemented by the nurse, he lives a healthier life. Knowles joined the Adventist Church on his bed in 2012. And his one hope is to walk into the doors of his church, the Berea Seventh-day Adventist Church. Knowles told of what keeps him going.
Because when you are in situations like this, you have moments especially when you by yourself, you have moments you just want to get up and go, and you can't get up, so you just pray. You could just pray. Try better to encourage yourself. Because sometimes you feel like jumping out of the window. You know what I mean? So that I get to the point and I get to realize through Sister Gibson that, it ain't the point that what's happening with you now. It's how you handle it with you as right now. So I get to know the Father like that. As I get to know him, I be able to handle it better. Prayers, and I just be able to handle things better, and just be contented, not contented that you stay there, and realize that someone else have a worse situation than you.
Ricardo Knowles has a ministry of his own where he sends out inspirational WhatsApp messages daily and even calls other at-home members to give them encouragement. At the end of the interview, our media team was encouraged by his determination and faithfulness to God. Knowles was kind enough to allow us to interrupt his hour-long therapy session for this interview. But before we left, we were able to witness his willpower to stand and walk. He thanks Sisters Gibson, Softly, Stirrup, along with Pastors Craig Williams Johnson and Toot for the assistance and encouragement they provide him. If you were impressed to further assist Brother Ricardo Knowles in his therapy sessions, please call the South Bahamas Conference headquarters at 242-341-4021 and ask for Pastor Craig Williams, our Community Services Coordinator, and let's continue to be our brother's keeper. I'm Laverne Stirrup for the SBC Media Network.
When we come back, we'll have more on the upcoming events in the South Bahamas Conference. Stay with us.
Camp Meeting 2017 will be from June 25th to July 1st, under the theme Transform to Serve, and this year promises to be exciting, refreshing, and inspirational. Each night will begin at 6 p.m. with a short meditation by Pastor Manasseh Sims, our district pastor in North Eleuthera. The inspirational nightly sermon will be brought to us by Pastor Steve Riley, Evangelist and Communication Director of the South Caribbean Conference of Seventh-day Adventists in Trinidad. The weekend speaker this year will be Pastor William Joseph Jr., the Ministerial Director of the Allegheny West Conference of Seventh-day Adventists in Columbus, Ohio. There will be several seminars to enrich your lives. One of our guest seminar presenters will be Dr. Lael Caesar, Associate Editor of the Adventist Review and Professor of Hebrew Bible at Andrews University. And for the first time at Camp Meeting, we are featuring each night an outstanding Bahamian singer. He is the rich bass singer, Louis Clare. We are confident Camp Meeting 2017 will change your life. So come out and be blessed.
Welcome back to Your Adventist News. I'm Adriel Hepburn. Thanks for watching. Here are some of the events coming up in the South Bahamas Conference. The Public Campus Ministry Forum Launch 2017 will be held at the Centerville Seventh-day Adventist Church on 5th Terrace, Centerville, this Saturday, April 29th at 5 p.m. There will be an interactive discussion and a number of case studies will be addressed. This event is specifically for our college or university students along with professors in the Adventist Church. The annual Adventist Book Day is here again, and this year on May 6th, Adventists everywhere are being asked to share an inspirational book with someone. The Adventist Book and Nutrition Center on Tonic Williams Darling Highway is providing you with several options. Among them is a set of devotionals, namely Moments with God by Brenda Walsh, and a classic Ellen White devotional called The Faith I Live By. These books are filled with encouragement and inspiration and covers the principal doctrines of our Christian faith. The set can be a very meaningful gift for those special persons on your list for Adventist Book Day. There will be a Spirit of Prophecy seminar held on May 17th and 18th, hosted by the South Bahamas Conference. Among the topics of discussion are understanding inspiration, how to interpret the writings of Ellen White, Ellen White's position on education, healthcare and vegetarianism, and last day events. Presentations will be conducted by Pastor Lyndon Williams, and questions and answers will follow. Family Island members wishing to be a part of these seminars are asked to indicate their desire for online participation by calling the conference headquarters. You can get more information on this event from the weekly logos or on the conference website at southbahamasconference.com. And on Saturday, May 6th, the quarterly all-night prayer meeting will be held at the Breath of Life Seventh-day Adventist Church on Marshall Road. You're invited to attend as prayers will be made for God's leading in our upcoming general election.
Want a healthy body? Then take care of your bones. There are certain bone ailments that we cannot avoid, But the good news is that you can make lifestyle choices that can positively impact the health of your bones. Keep these tips in mind if you want better bone health from nutrition experts eating well. Is your calcium supplement doing a number on your stomach? To avoid gas or constipation that usually accompanies calcium supplements, first try eating more fiber and drinking more fluids. You may also want to consider switching your calcium supplement if necessary. Lactose-free solutions for strong bones. It has always been said that milk gives us strong bones. But what do you do if you are lactose intolerant? No worries. Today, we have various lactose-free milk replacements such as soy milk or almond milk, so you can still have your dose of calcium and vitamin D. Consume calcium in increments. It is not advised that you down 500 milligrams of calcium supplement with milk. Have the milk first and the supplement later, or vice versa. Why? Your body absorbs the mineral from foods or supplements. It is advised to take calcium in increments of 500 milligrams or less. Some nuts and seeds are good sources of the mineral too. Almonds, sesame seeds, or sunflower seeds contains up to 75 milligrams of calcium. Stock up on a variety of beta-carotene-rich vegetables and fruits, including carrots, sweet potatoes, and cantaloupe. Avoid multivitamin supplements with more than 100% of the daily value from vitamin A. Strong bones? Okay. Vitamin K is a vital activator of 3 proteins essential to bone health. Just 1 daily serving of spinach or 2 of broccoli more than covers your daily recommended intake for this nutrient. Flex those muscles. We cannot separate the importance of exercise from bone health. If you are not active, it's time you put on some running shoes and hit the tracks. You may also want to consider grabbing some light dumbbells or playing a quick game of basketball regularly to build strong bones. And finally, talk to the one who keeps your bones. Psalm 34:20 says, "He protects all his bones. Not one of them will be broken." Keep your faith and trust in God. We can take all the precautions, but in the end, it is the Lord who protects your bones. I'm Bridget Bastian, and this has been your health tip, courtesy of Adventist Television. And remember, God wants us to prosper and be in good health.
And now we go to the Adventist News Network for our news feature from around the world.
As the president of Uganda publicly supported a project run by Adventist women from the Busoga subregion, he also charged them to help the country empower the disenfranchised. President Yoweri Museveni told the delegation of 100 women who visited him at Uganda's State House to work hard and ensure that you eradicate poverty. The Adventist women visited the president to thank him for funding Busoga Seventh-day Adventist Women's Savings and Credit Cooperative Society. The program provides various services and assistance within their communities. The funding was pledged through the President's Operation Wealth Creation Program, which supports a diverse portfolio of projects that aim to improve the livelihood of Ugandans. During their visit, President Museveni shared that he received his early education from an Adventist school near his home. He also complimented the church for providing education for the nation. Museveni also pledged to provide a pickup truck for the women's group to help the ministry's operations.
Well, that's all for this week's Adventist News in the South Bahamas Conference of Seventh-day Adventists. On behalf of the production team of Adventist Television Channel 658, we say thank you for watching and join us next time. I'm Adriel Hepburn, and have a happy Sabbath.